Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to the podcast Embodied Abundance, where I share with you guidance, wisdom, support to help you embodying your inherent abundant nature and attract abundance so much more easily and effortlessly. And in this podcast episode, I will talk about abundance and why abundance is a state of being, a frequency, and not just money or wealth or the life that you desire to live or the partnership you desire to have. So, for me, for a very, very long period of time in my life, I was chasing abundance. Um, and for me, abundance was having lots of money. And I connected having lots of money with feeling free, feeling joyful, feeling happy. And through my own journey and on my path to embodying my abundant nature, I found out that also in those moments when I was broke, when I didn't know how to pay my bills, I could feel abundant. And so I got it that abundance wasn't only having lots of money and being wealthy and being rich. Abundance means for me that I can step into and shift into abundance at any given moment in time because I experienced it myself. I will never forget that moment when I was dancing and I felt so happy. I felt so joyful. I felt so abundant. And I literally didn't know how to pay my bills or how to afford rent or food. And this was a moment where I realized, okay, this is maybe why the divine, why the divine wanted me to go through all of these experiences, to experience that my abundance isn't depending on money, on how much money I have or don't have, because at any given moment in time, I can tap into feeling abundant, feeling joyful, because in the end, that's what I noticed it for myself. Being abundant means for me being joyful, being happy, feeling whole and complete, feeling connected and aligned with myself and with the divine. This is for me being abundant, being in trust, feeling so in trust and feeling so, vivid and alive and happy. And so that means that almost all of us, we chase abundance, we chase money because we connect having lots of money with a feeling that we want to feel. And I ask you now, very honestly, and maybe you can write that down, this question for you. What does being abundant mean for you? What feeling do you want to experience when you are abundant? How does your abundant self feel like? Just write these questions down and ask yourself, really, ask yourself that. What do I really want with all the money that I desire? What do I really want to feel? Because it's a feeling. And because it's a feeling, it means actually that you can experience it right now. You don't have to wait until circumstances in your life change and you suddenly receive so much money. You receive the partnership that you always desired. You receive everything you always desired. You don't need to wait anymore. I want you to know that, and I want you to understand that now deeply. You don't need to wait any longer. Don't need to wait anymore to receive anything, to finally be happy, to finally be free, to finally be joyful. Because all of that you can be right now. You don't need to wait anymore. And it's not about downplaying all the feelings that come with, of course, also not having a lot of money, not knowing how to pay your bills, feeling this unsafety, feeling deeply unsafe, feeling unstable, all of these emotions, feeling overwhelmed. It's not about downplaying them or avoiding them to feel. It's actually also feeling these emotions, tending to those inner parts of you that feel those emotions, that want to be held by you, that want to feel safe, that want to feel protected by you. And at the same time, tapping into the frequency of abundance, of your most abundant self, and feeling all those feelings that your abundant self wants. Yeah, it just feels naturally. It just feels it naturally. Because again, being abundant is your inherent abundant, it's your inherent state. Being abundant is your inherent nature. It's who you are. You came into this body, into this life by being abundant. You were abundant from the beginning on, and you will be abundant until the end of time. This is who you are. And you live in an abundant universe. Look around you. Look around you. Go in nature. See all these plants. There's plenty of plants, plenty of trees. This abundant nature. And how could you not be in an abundant universe? How could you not be abundant by nature? I took so many notes, but I feel it's coming just true. The message that I want to share with you, and that is so important for you to understand deeply and to embody deeply, is that you are already abundant. And how can you now tap into this frequency more often? What really helps you to feel those feelings more often that your abundant self feels naturally? So for me, my abundant self feels joyful. She is so in joy. She loves life so much. She is in trust. She trusts life fully. She trusts the divine. She trusts herself, her intuition fully. She doesn't question her intuition anymore, because she knows her intuition is the voice of the divine speaking to her. That is what the intuition is like. And she is just whole and complete. She doesn't feel that there's anything lacking, even though maybe on the outside anything isn't there that she desires, the partnership or the wealth or whatever it is that she doesn't have, but she doesn't feel that she doesn't have it, because she knows that she is already whole and complete and she has everything she wants, because she embodies this knowing that she only has this desire, for example, for more wealth, for more money, for the partnership, because the fulfillment of this desire exists already. That means the fulfillment of this desire is calling her, the future self is calling her towards this, because it is already hers. This desire that she has is already hers. She doesn't have to fight for it. She doesn't have to chase anything. It's just naturally unfolding, and she trusts in divine timing. She doesn't run in her life. She doesn't chase anything anymore. She doesn't push the outcome or force anything to happen. She just knows. She just knows that she is that already, and she has that already. It's already hers. And no one and nothing can take that away from her. What is meant to be hers cannot be taken away from her. And so this is the same for you. What is meant to be yours cannot be taken away from you. Never. It cannot be taken away from you. So you already have this desire. How can you walk through this life knowing that the outcome is certain? That your desired outcome is certain. You will receive that. So how do you walk through life now knowing that you will receive it anyway? And maybe it's not today, maybe it's not tomorrow, maybe it's in 2 years, in 10 years. You don't know, but you trust and you surrender to the divine, because you know there exists something that is called a divine order, that is called divine timing. And if you don't have this desire in physical form right now, it just means that you are being prepared to become that version of yourself that can hold this desire, that can tend to this desire, that can nourish this desire. So it's this version of you that you are being prepared to become and to be, to embody, that is already whole and complete, and that doesn't need that desire to be fulfilled anymore. That's the next level. You don't need it anymore to be fulfilled, because you are already so fulfilled. You're so fulfilled. You're so full of life. You're so full of joy, full of happiness. Just because you exist, just because you love this life, that's why you don't need this desire anymore to be fulfilled. And that's the point. That's really when the universe responds to your frequency and gives you what you desire. Because most of us, and this is also because of the society, the structure of our society, how we are operating from, and what we were taught of, and all of that, is most of us operate from lack and from neediness. I need someone, or I need something to be happy. That is also like, for example, capitalism. It just promotes oftentimes this feeling, I need, for example, this iPhone, or I need this car to be who I want to be, and to feel finally abundant, to feel finally rich. And what happens? We then have this iPhone, or we have this car, and for a second we feel, oh my God, I feel so joyful, I feel so happy, I feel so abundant. And what happens? The next day you are like, now I need this car. Now I need this iPhone. You know, it's like this never-ending story of it's never enough. It's never enough. You always need something or someone to finally feel enough, to finally feel whole and complete. And stop feeding this more and more machine. You need more to be more, to feel more. You can already be and feel all of what you desire to feel and be right now, in this moment. You don't need to wait for anything to happen. You don't need to wait for your circumstances to change in life. Trust me, you don't need it. You can be abundant right now. You can be joyful right now. You can be happy right now. And you can feel whole and complete and enough right now. You don't need anyone to fulfill you. Don't need anything to fulfill you. You just need to remember that again, that it is all inside of you, not on the outside, it's inside of you. And when you really anchor that more in, and anchor into these feelings of your abundant self, you magnetize automatically everything you desire, but not from lack anymore, not from neediness anymore, but from abundance, from completeness, from wholeness, from this frequency, from being aligned with your highest self, with your divine self. And not from that lower self anymore that always feels maybe inferior, or not enough, not complete, always missing something, grabbing, needing to control, always needing something. So yeah, how can you shift more into that? And I'm offering now the Path to Embodied Abundance, which is a online group program for 13 weeks. And I will guide you and support you through this journey to embodying your inherent abundant self. And by doing that, attracting and magnetizing abundance so much more effortlessly and easily towards you. Because you now shift into the state of abundance. You become it. You are it. And for me, really realizing all of that, embodying that for myself, I found out that I really don't need anything. I always believed that I need like these desires fulfilled. I need that desire fulfilled to be happy, to be fulfilled, to be complete. And it's like such an illusion. It's such an illusion. These desires exist because my future self wants to experience these desires, wants to experience all these circumstances in my life. And that's the only reason why it is calling me towards it. Because in that experience of that desire, there might be a healing. There might be the divine that you meet there. There might be a lesson that you need to learn. That's the only reason why this desire exists, because it is really meant for you to experience that. But not because you need it to feel complete, to feel whole, to feel yourself. You don't need anything to be connected with the divine, with yourself. You don't need anything or anyone. That's the greatest gift maybe we can experience on this earth as human beings. That we have this inherent connection with the divine. It's just we are part of the divine, and the divine is part of us. We are in the divine. We are in God. We are in the divine, and God and the divine is within us. So, yes, let me know in the comments what you take away from this podcast episode, what you realized for yourself, and yeah, if you want more information about my new online group program, The Path to Embodied Abundance, we start already 31st of July, and you can sign up until then for this program. And this program is so divine. It is so divine, and I'm so excited for you, to guide you and support you on your way, on your path to embodied abundance, to embodying your abundant nature. And yes, my love, I'm sending you so much love and gratitude. If you want to know more about my work, my offers, you find the link and more informations below. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm sending you so much love.